Oh, that's easy. You don't have to work. Tell that to GTA role players. You can't put games on pause. According to your parents, you can. Spawn killing. China. I can finally get some women in this one. Ah, see, I got you there. They're all males with female models. I just finished the Phantom Bullet arc of SAO, which further proved that I have absolute garbage taste in anime for loving this show. As always, it's up to me to change the name of this anime to something a bit more realistic. Sword Art Off-Screen, Detective Kirito, and How the Kirito Stole Your Girl. If you agree that this season gave us the best girl in all of SAO, which was Kirito, then be sure to subscribe to my channel and join my Discord. Let me give you a satire synopsis of this anime, which does contain spoilers, and be sure to check out the other parts of the series. In the game Gungale Online, there's a person going around killing people with a twist. If they die in the game, they die for real. Oh, who let the Reddit user on the game? So, of course the leader of the Technology Bureau at the Ministry of Internal Affairs, or as I like to call it, Tabatamoya, comes to the only logical conclusion. Something strange in the video game. Who you gonna call? Kirito! This is the equivalent of the FBI requesting a World of Warcraft player's help after the death of Asmongold. But this is Kirito, so of course he asks him for help, because he's just so cool! He informs Kirito that players are dying from mysterious heart failures from an unknown death gun, and since L is on vacation, it's up to Detective Kirito to deduce what's going on. Kirito, what's your current theory? I think I made a mistake, but I need him for future arcs. While you may be thinking, why don't they just ask the admins of the game about Death Gun? Well, because they're Americans. So, plan B, send Kirito to find him. Our heroine takes the stage, the greatest sniper in all of Gungale, who of course, gets bullied in real life by her only fear, finger guns. Palms are sweaty, knees weak. When Sinon was a child, she killed a robber. And to help cope with her PTSD, she plays a game where she shoots people for fun. This looks like a job for the coolest person in the world, Kirito. So he hooks up and goes into Gungale Online. Link start. Alright, give him hell, boys! Kirito realized that Asuna wasn't gonna get a lot of screen time, so he took up the mantle himself of being best girl. After running into Sinon, she decides to help him get some weapons. But in order to do that, he needs to beat the Keymaster game, which nobody has ever done before. Until now, because Kirito is just so cool! Since he lost one saber, he decides to get a new one. They both sign up for the Battle of the Bullets, where the best players in the game battle once a year. You may be wondering, how is Kirito gonna compete with these people who put more time into this than you put into Fortnite back in 2018? I mean, do I even have to say it? I should probably mention that this is the retcon of this story, who gets rejected by Sinon. Kirito joined this tournament to try and find Death Gun. Hello there. Oh look, there he is. We get a few hints, so we can deduce who this mysterious man is. He was a surviving member of the Laughing Coffin Guild from Sword Art Online. Oh, then it was just one of these three. They were the only 3 members shown. What? No. Who cares about any of this? Kirito is facing off against Sinon. And we're crying. Take 2, action. And we're crying again. Whatever, they both make it to the final anyways. A battle royale. Which makes no sense why Kirito is even entering. He already knows that Death Gun is a member of Laughing Coffin. He could give this information to the Tabatamoya and call it a day. But if we did that, how are we gonna get a final fight and have Sinon fall in love with Kirito before telling her he has a wife? I should probably tell her. Nah. Kirito deduces that there are multiple Death Guns, the one in the game and some in real life, who gives them the lethal injection at the same time that Death Gun shoots them in game. Since Sinon is being targeted, that must mean there's another Death Gun at her house right now. This leaves Kirito with 2 choices. Log out, call the police, and run over to her house to protect her, because I'm sure the plot could conveniently place her house close to him. Or have a final fight for fun. Oh, I guess we should give Asuna something to do. After Kirito breaks out his new dual-wielding technique, West Compton style, he defeats Death Gun because he's just so cool. After their great success, Kirito finally gets her address to pull up for the post-game party.
驚いたな。俺が今ダイブしてる場所の近くだ。
I knew it! Look at my notes! I called it! Meanwhile, back in the real world, Sinon's friend showed up and shockingly enough, he was one of the Death Guns. So where is my White Knight Kirito? There he is! Oh no! Kirito's been given the lethal injection! There's no way that this is real. The one spot he was stabbed. And how is he protected? Whatever, let's just conclude Sinon's arc since, after this, she's probably gonna get put in Kirito's use later shed. She can now do finger pistols. Okay, progression. Now all she has to do is stand up to her bullies. Did this child just pull a gun on her for not giving her 10 bucks? I'm just gonna erase that from my memory and move on. Kirito brings in someone Sinon saved from her past incident, who thanks her for when she killed the robber at the post office. Wait, I'm sorry, he was robbing a post office? What was he trying to steal, a box of fidget spinners? Now, let's talk about the characters in this anime, starting off with the man people have formed religions around, Kirito. I mean, look at him, always trying to put his sword on his back, just the perfect male specimen. In this arc, they gave Kirito personal problems to relate with Sinon, which really shows that he has PTSD he's working through. I even wrote down that I prefer him having personal problems. Followed by 10 seconds later, where I wrote, never mind, this is boring. I mean, he killed people in Sword Art off screen, but I guess they just now decide to talk about it for plot convenience. It's truly a shame that Sinon was in this SAO, because she may have been the greatest girl in all of SAO. That was until... Best girl tier. Probably the only honest thing I'll say this entire video, Sinon may have been the best character in all of SAO, because, get this, they gave her a personality. Then they overwrote that personality by having constant shots of zooming into the flat floor, which is her ass. Wait a minute, is she just Kirito with different hair? The best girl was also Kirito all along? I do have one tiny thing that bothered me about her past. I don't think other kids would call you a murderer for stopping a bank robbery. But then again, I'm from America, where we love guns, women, guns, and canned cheese. I'm also convinced that the only reason they made Kirito look like a girl was just so they could have a scene where she realizes while changing. Unlike most girls in this series, she takes a while to succumb to Kirito's coolness, but eventually falls for him. Sniper Queen! There is one ironclad fact that I've learned from watching SAO. Any guy who's not Kirito is a bad guy. I'll be talking about both of these characters since it'll be too much work to separate both of them. To 13-year-old me, the character design of the villain was so awesome, and I stand by that. I enjoyed the budget Death Note mystery, even though it was just some guy in the end. That was until I found out the reason he did all of this was because he watched a bad tutorial on OP builds in GGO. Then there was his little brother, who only exists so Mr. Steal Your Girl can swoop in and take away Sinon, because this is you versus the guy she tells you not to worry about. Failed because of a sticker tier. Let's see what the casting couch was up to in this arc. Yep, that's about right. Also, what's up with this supportive Asuna? Disgusting. Bring me back the tsundere. I don't even feel like tier listing them. Time for final thoughts and rating the anime. This story was filled with so many plot holes. Why can you convert stats to this game? That's like converting Halo experience points into Minecraft. Invisibility cloaks. What's up with those? Why are they allowed to team in a tournament, and why is everyone okay with it? Wait, it's because they think this is Yuri. Never mind. Not to mention the amount of times they re-explain somebody's past. What they should have done is, let me tell you the truth.
A few inches later.
And that's my story. But I also really love the concept of a gun version of SAO, since I'm a bit of a gamer myself, which is probably why, even though it's not great, I still enjoyed it. When it comes to the characters, if we just cut out the side chick storyline, I think it would have been fine. The whole let's give Kirito PTSD to relate was also pretty bad, but I see what Reki Kawahara was going for. The animation was epic. I really enjoyed the shooting scenes. No matter how unrealistic, they all still look amazing. The soundtracks were very repeat, reuse, recycle from previous SAOs. But as always, the sound effects were top tier. While my anime list gave this anime a score of 6.7 out of 10, I'll be giving it a score of 8.1 I know it's bad please leave me alones out of 10. In conclusion, maybe don't have people put their home addresses in game.
I'm gonna blast you from here to the moon.